You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. From the Sheerness Town team, a bit of a regular slot, and John coming in every... Firstly, Fiona, it's great to have you along here at the Monday Night Community Show.
It's good to be back here, Daniel. Thank you for having us once again.
So you're celebrating 10 years of the run, which is hard to believe. I think you want to talk a little bit more about that.
I did want to, obviously I wanted to come up tonight to talk about the run anyway and to generate, all the interest that we have at this time of year. But I wanted to come up also to say a very special thank you to BRFM for supporting us and for everybody out there and for asking everybody to dig into their pockets for what is going to be the very last run. It has been 10 years, or it will be certainly after this year's run. And unfortunately, with legislation today, with paperwork, with red tape, whatever we want to call it, it is becoming increasingly difficult to stage the run. And we have taken quite a heartbreaking decision, actually, that this is going to be the last one. The people of Sheppey have been incredible for the last 9 years, and we just wanted to make sure everybody knew about it and could come along and support us this year, and again to come and talk about it and to explain really why it is going to be the last run.
So I was hoping you could next give us a little bit of introduction into what the charity does.
The charity was formed after the death of my husband. I think that's very well documented through the local press and other channels. Paul died in September 2006, and we felt as a family that his work in education wasn't completed. He loved the island, he loved island children, and the work we've been doing in the last 10 years, which will continue, the run finishes but the charity goes on, it was to help support the social, emotional, academic development of young people on the island, and that's specifically what the charity was set up for.
And I think you're going to cover next what the money is raised and spent on.
Thank you, Daniel. I've obviously got a long list of ways in which we do spend the money. Some of these your listeners will have heard before, but this year has been no different, and we've continued supporting young people on the island with many of the following things. Some of the basics that we supply are uniform and warm clothing, obviously for the winter months. Lots of young children haven't got that warm winter coat or the sturdy shoes that are going to take them through the winter, but we also supply specialist equipment to support talent. So it could be equipment that's needed for dancing, for artwork, for particular sports, for football, archery, for example. We've supplied all kinds of specialist equipment this year to support young people with those particular talents. We also support with travel to events. If any parents out there are listening, they will know that actually getting their talented young people to different events that are not necessarily local can be very costly and can sometimes prevent very talented youngsters from taking part. So we do support in that way as well. We send children on residential trips. Some children have never been away before, so a few days away or even up to a week away with either school trips or planned residential visits from other local groups has been a tremendous bonus and something that we're very proud of being able to do. We've also paid for additional therapy for children who are in extreme difficulties. We've also put, believe it or not, beds and cots into houses, so children are actually sleeping in proper beds and not on floors. Something that lots of people wouldn't believe if we told them that some of the children on the island are actually not in proper beds. We also supply trips for disabled children, and we have as well put breakfast clubs and tuck monies into schools, especially into our primary schools. So we're very, very proud of everything that the charity does and will continue to do.
I was hoping you could introduce yourself firstly for us.
Yeah, I'm Beth and I'm Fiona's daughter.
So I think you're going to cover how to enter next.
Yep. There's 3 ways you can enter. The best way is online at www.ptir.org.uk. The second way you can apply is to download an application on our website and send it off to the addresses at the bottom. And the third way is to phone our mobile number, which is 0780 580 3379. And if you leave your name, address and your telephone number, we'll send an application form out to you.
So can you enter on the day?
You can enter on the day. However, we do advise that you enter before, because there's always lots and lots of queues. You have to get there at least half an hour before the event if you are going to register on the day, so that we can get you registered into the start line before the race starts.
And I was hoping you could tell us next when and where is the award ceremony?
Thank you, Daniel. We actually haven't got a date yet for the awards ceremony. That is still to be decided, but it is usually 5 to 6 weeks after the run, and obviously the run is the 8th of May, but we will inform everybody of the date when we've got it. It will be on the website, and we always put it in the little flyers that go in the bags that people receive at the end of the run. It is, though, this year going to be back at St George's. The head there, Howard Fisher, has been incredibly kind and offered St George's as a venue, and of course St George's is very special in all of our hearts, and we think it's right and fitting that actually the last ceremony, the last award ceremony, will be at St George's Primary School.
So before you go, I was just hoping you could refresh our listeners of anything you'd like to cover, and of course useful contact details as well.
I certainly will. So first of all, on the day, the 8th of May, there is something for everyone. Whether you want to walk or run 10 miles, those two events are there. And obviously there's the 2-mile run, which is very, very safe for families with young children. It doesn't have to be a run, remember. It can be a walk. It can even be a stroll. We get lots of families with buggies. We get people in wheelchairs. We get all kinds of things on that 2-mile event. We really do want it to be a celebrating 10 fantastic years, as I said earlier, of what the island have done for the charity and what they've done to support their own young people. So if you can come along and support on the day, if you can sponsor somebody, take part yourself, raise money, volunteer if you can to do any support along the route, because we have lots of marshals, that would be fantastic. Messages can be got to us via the website, and I'll repeat those contact details. The website is www.ptir.org.uk, and the telephone number for inquiries is 078 058 03379. Please come along and support us one last time. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank the both of you very much for coming along and telling us all about it.
Thank you, Daniel, as always, for having us.
That is us talking all about the Paul Trigwell Island Run this year, the 10th year, right here at the Monday Night Community Show this evening.